Whoa, whoa.
What they do? What they do?
Welcome to another exciting week of EME podcast, entertainment, and LLC type of things going on. We got King Caleb in the building.
What they do?
We got on the Zoom deal, woo, boss of all boss, Turk McDirt.
Whoa, y'all already know what it is.
What it is, Turk. What up, boss? What you doing at home? Chilling?
Yeah, man, chilling on it, trying to take care of these kids real quick. My kid was a little sick a little bit, so I stayed at home, you know what I'm saying, so I get them right.
That's what daddies do. That's what we do.
I'm figuring it out, though.
And we got a Harding student with us, one of our colleagues, one of our friends. First time on the EME podcast, we have Lilly.
How you doing?
I'm sorry.
What's up, Lilly?
This is Lilly. Lilly goes to Harding University. You are a senior, right?
Yeah, that's right. I graduate in May.
Ooh, Lilly. So what is your major at Harding University?
I'm a finance major.
So the last couple of weeks we have members of the community that are talking about financial literacy. That's what we've been telling you guys, that the EME podcast is hell-bent on helping guys and let young ladies learn more about their financial literacy, learn more about budgeting, learn more about banks and loans, and learn more about how to restore your credit if it needs restoration. Lilly, how important is credit in business or just in life?
I mean, really, it runs everything. You know, the ability to have a good credit score allows you to get an even better credit score and better opportunities.
Also in business, I've done a little research on business credit. Is if you have your personal credit in line, your business credit is already stacked up to win. So the more that you work on your personal credit, your business credit gets even better and better. They don't, and a lot of people don't know about what's the number, the Donny and Brass number. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Say it for me clearly. The Doms and Brass number for business credit. I said it right? Okay, I've been trying to research that and exercise what I know about it. Kay didn't like that I knew that. Sorry, Kay didn't like I knew about that business credit.
Nothing like that. Now you helping me.
Yeah, we gonna have some of that too. Kay, you have any questions for Lilly? Because she got some stuff that we might need to know.
You don't have any questions for Lilly, man. You know, man, that's really, I wanted to know what she majored in finance. So what made you want to do that, Lilly? What made you want to start it?
I was looking at things that would really apply to any sector of life, and definitely business is one of those areas. With finance, that's really the driving force behind any business. So if you want to have any kind of endeavor, any kind of passion, that's probably related to a business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something that once you get going, you can keep going.
And finances run the world, like she's saying. Any aspect of life, if you know about the financial part of it, you can win, because that's the cornerstone. That's the foundation of American lifestyle. What you think, Turk McDirt?
Financial literacy, man, finance needed in the community, man. That's just, like I say, man, a lot of regular people who work jobs, you know what I'm saying, who, you know, we still struggle too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for us to get food, you know, because we don't get food stamps because we work, or, you know, our disability we may don't get all of that because we work. Like, a job kind of hinders what you can just, what kind of assistance that you get. So, you know, people don't understand, like, budgeting and managing your money and putting your money in stock and putting your money saving, you know, put your money in CDs for your kids and just for stuff for the future, man. It's helpful, man. And that's the stuff we don't know about in our community, man. We just live day for day. You know what I'm saying? We get money, we burn it. We the dollar don't last a second in the community. You know what I'm saying? So financial literacy, man, I really do think that's needed in our community a lot, man. Just teaching people how to manage money, man, and just live with money and show them really what money do. Money got power other than just buying. You know what I'm saying? It means something out here. So you got to just, you know what I mean? So yeah, financial literacy, yeah, that's a tough subject in the neighborhood and well needed.
Lilly, is it easier to go to a bank and get a loan or find a private lender?
So from what I've learned the past couple of years, I think going to the bank is definitely the best and easiest option, but there are other institutions if you don't qualify through the bank. Mm-hmm. So it's not the end of the road if you don't qualify at the bank, but it is a time to reconsider your options.
Mm-hmm. And
but how can you qualify to a bank? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard. Like, we've been like especially if your credit bad, what can people do to establish a great relationship with the bank, man? Just something to make the bank mess with us or something, you know? Because it's kind of hard for us to get loans or get help when your credit ain't right or when you know what I'm saying? So what's some of the things we can do to build our credit or maybe to get establish a relationship with a bank?
I've seen a couple different ways that people can really start to build back up their credit. One is like if you rent, that's building your credit. If you're paying on time, that's one of those little things that can help your credit score. Or if you can get a small credit card and put your groceries on it and then immediately pay it off. Mm-hmm. So you don't let it sit there, you don't miss payments. That's going to help your credit very slowly, but it's going to get there. Mm-hmm. It's kind of similar to like when you start running and it's really miserable at first, but you know, if you keep pushing, it's something that you're going to see the results.
Right.
What about student loans? I noticed that student loans hinder your stuff. Like is there any kind of program, anything somebody can do for my understanding, you know what I'm saying, to do that? Because that play a major part in your credit. Like you can't get I can't, like student loans bought me down. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get forward because of that.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling the student loans too. I think you just have to start wherever you can start. I think a lot of people have to get creative with it too and meet with people who are registered, who have gone to school and have some experience with it to help you find those areas in your life that you're going to be able to make it happen. Yeah, definitely with student loans, it looks like to me from all that I've heard and the advice I've been given that definitely sticking to a strict budget is probably the best way to get out from under it.
Yeah. I saw on the news this week or recently that a lender had to drop all their student loans. It was on the news this week. They had I think it was like almost 100 million, almost 200 million student loans who were under this certain company called Nixient or something like that. They had to drop all of their student loans because they were doing inappropriate lending, and they were putting too much interest on the and I think they're a private lending firm. So they did because the government didn't allow it, and they were getting too much money back. The people were having to pay all that money back, and it was illegal how they obtained that money because they put way too much interest on the students' loans at the time, and they weren't supposed to. So their student loan debt or what they're supposed to get paid back is inact. The government said that nobody has to pay their student loan lender back. So I'm hoping everybody have to do that.
So information that type of program?
You said what, brother?
You got information on that type of program? Like what is somebody
it was in the paper, it was on Facebook. I'm gonna look it up, bro. But it's big. If you Google the name that I said, Nixient, it'll say something about it. And it'll say all who have loans under them through the federal government, your student loan is completely forgotten, no matter what it was. If it was $1 million.
Yeah, because of COVID
yeah, but they doing more research too, Caleb.
A lot of stuff.
They doing more research into these lending companies. Yeah. And fraudulent, bro. They've been taking money from the poor people for a while, and it's starting to catch up to them. What's done in the dark come up in the light.
From my understanding, if you just call student loan people and set yourself a budget, it could be like $5 and that's what you can pay. You know what I'm saying? As long as you paying something. You know what I'm saying? I think from my understanding, they'll work with you and it'll kind of like show some good on your credit. It'll put you in positive standards with your credit. You know what I'm saying? So I think people, if people contact me, we just tell them that information on how to contact the people. You know what I'm saying? Contact the student loan people and just set up some type of budget, man. Just something to pay on. You pay something, from my understanding, and they work too on student loans.
Another thing that's been working too, Turk, they got loan forgiveness, where they forgive your complete loan or at least half of it. And you get on a payment plan and you pay half of it back. It's like you said, like get a card or something, put some money on it, and then pay it back month by month and work a deal out with them. But there's a program, a federal government loan forgiveness program, and I think you have to go under student loans or something. Whichever federal entity does that, that's how you get the information. They let you know if you're eligible to go through that student loan forgiveness program.
Hey, for a person like me though, I don't really know what financial literacy means. What it mean, man? Like for the people, what financial literacy mean? You know what I'm saying? I know.
To me, financial literacy is understand the power of money and how you can use money to influence and change your life, and to know what money does. Because a lot of us just take money and spend it, or some of us just take money and throw it in a savings account and just let it sit there. But the truth of money is money only increases if you make it work, not you work for the money. So it's more of like learning the ins and outs of how to make your money do most of the work, and you sit back and chill and think of creative ideas how your money can work. Because it's not about physical labor to get rich. It's not about that. It's about creative power to get rich, and how the knowledge of money and what money can do in your community can better you as well as your community. Remember, I always say that the best type of business is one that helps people and makes money.
Right.
So it's about stocks. Stocks are one of the things that are, like you mentioned earlier, stocks are ways to move your money while you sleep. Remember, that's our dream for EME, is to make money while we sleep.
Yeah, get in the stock market, make our brand big enough for the stock market.
Yeah, and that means that our company has to go public first.
Right.
We talked about that. We got to make our company public.
Explain that when you said public.
Public means that it's on the stock market. It's on the stock trade.
So like somebody can come in and like
and have a piece of our company. Yeah, be a part of the company.
And do it work by percentages?
Yeah, it depends on how many percentages of stock that you buy.
Okay.
Like the owners, it depends on, if you're a sole owner, you own 100%. If it's a partnership, you might split it with somebody. If it's different forms of LLC, you might split it with the members of the group. And those are the people that own percentages of the stock once it's public. But then once it's public, you have the option of selling the stock, right? I don't know if I'm saying this right, Lily.
Yeah.
You have the option of selling those stocks out to the public, and and some of the owners reduce ownership in the stock, or they keep the ownership.
So first there would be the initial offering, and so that's, you guys go out, you say, here's $50,000 of my company's value divided up into stock. And then after that, it can really just go on the market, and then people that own it can sell it again.
Oh, you said it twice?
You sell it once.
Right.
But then it's in the market, so other people can sell it again.
Oh, people who buy the shares can sell it again.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
It's like when Walmart did their first stock offering, some of the first people that invested don't own it anymore. They sold their stocks.
They sold it to somebody else. Okay, I get it. And then it keeps going like that. It gets retraded, resold like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So how much people want it changes the value then in the market.
So if more people want it, the value goes skyrocket.
Yes.
And the less people want it, the value of it tanks.
Yeah, people start selling it off quickly, then your value drops.
Right. We gotta make sure the EME stock is always on the up and up.
What about mutual funds?
Yeah, mutual funds.
Mutual fund, penny stock, and all that. Is that effective?
It can be. With all things in finance, it can be really helpful or really hurtful. And that's just leverage in general. That's the power of leverage. So with mutual funds, I think those are very interesting, just because now you can take a smaller amount of money and invest it in a larger amount of companies. So that's really a lot safer to do than say putting $10,000 in penny stocks.
Right.
So penny stocks, you're going to get more leverage, but you get a lot more risk.
Right.
So you're way more likely to lose your money. But if you win, then you're going to get, maybe 10 times more than that mutual.
You win big.
Yeah.
We win big. So all of business is all about, and if you notice this, it's about risks. The more risk you take, the more return you get. The less risk you take, you betting almost against yourself. So it's better to risk a lot because the return is greater. But if you're a careful investor, it's better to risk like in different places.
Yeah,
spread it out.
One of the first things your financial advisor should do is they should talk with you and figure out what amount of risk is appropriate for your life.
Right.
So as you go through life, your risk levels are going to change, and they should. If you're close to retirement and you're putting all your money into penny stocks, like that's not a good idea.
Right.
Because you might end up homeless at 75.
Right, and no job.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So risk is up to where you are in life, basically.
Yeah, and like what your goals are, where you need to get going.
And also your age factors in that. The younger you are, you can take more risks. The older you are, you have to back up and say, hey, I'm gonna wait to take that investment. I'm gonna wait to sign up for that stuff.
Yeah. Lifestyle too. If you're willing to live modestly, you can retire earlier. But if you're wanting to live a more lavish life, then you probably need to either take more risk or work longer.
Right.
Take more risk.
He said work like you laughed at that, didn't you?
I want to work longer.
No, nobody. I'm gonna take some risks. I'm gonna take some
Yeah,
risks.
cool.
Give me some
Sometimes,
risks.
especially if you get ahead. You know what I mean? That's how we is at EME. We kind of jump out there. That's why we go on the high end on the merch. You know what I'm saying? We take risks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
that's
get
a
out.
risk.
We go to your clubs. We get out here in your community, man, and interact with people. We interact with people that other people don't even want to interact with. So
Right.
that's what EME, you know what I'm saying? Us strong when we take a lot of risks on the street, man. So yeah, stock risk. We get in that stock risk. We might get that bag up.
Yeah, that bag gonna jump, man. That bag gonna jump out the gym.
Hey, Jeff, you know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? It's some good, that's some bad. You know what I'm saying? Because the media and the TV, you know what I'm saying? It show both ends. It show good and it show bad. You know what I mean?
You gotta be balanced. You gotta be balanced.
Hey, look, to learn about stock, what you do? Join classes or something? Like, do people teach that? Or that just something you got to learn on your own?
You gotta pay to learn about stocks, brother.
Oh, you can definitely learn about it. And you can read books or like audio books if you don't care to read. They've got all kinds of them on
I'm
stocks.
sure, what's it called, YouTube, I'm sure stuff on there tell you more about it. I'm sure, I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely have to look out for bad advice though. There's a ton of that on it too.
Right.
It's a good way to blow all your money in, maybe a week.
Man, I be seeing people get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. They stuck on that TV, looking at that little bit of screen, looking at that stock. I have to be like, nah, man, I can't do that. Like, man, it be 4 in the morning.
So you got a certain amount of money. You got a certain amount of money invested in that, though. You gonna get up and do that, though.
Right.
Yeah, it's good.
You gonna be watching that thing.
There's a saying: you either eat well or you sleep well with stocks.
Right.
Yeah.
That's your options.
Right. So either you're gonna be rich or you're gonna be broke, right?
Either you invest enough money that you're eating great but you're not sleeping, or you invest amount that you're gonna sleep great but you're gonna be eating modestly.
Right. So it's one or two things.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I think we need to invest our knowledge into stocks, because I think out of our four ways we could pick something out, and one or two of us gonna hit on that thing. To me, the stock market like the lottery. To me, that's just how I see it.
Yeah.
This is my mentality. If I pick the right one and keep investing, I might hit. Yeah, it's gambling to me. It's gambling, man. It's gambling over billions and trillions, and you gambling over that company's success.
Get your business off.
Definitely one way to do it where it is gambling, and then there's one way you can do it where it's not. It definitely depends on the time frame and your research.
Right.
So if you're doing gambling, like you could do penny stocks and you're probably going to come out with similar results. But if you do your research and have a really balanced portfolio, then in 30 years you're going to have a higher return than people that didn't do that.
Why do people that always talk about stock and money, they always talk about years? Like every time I hear about stocks and I hear about investments and I hear about mortgages and houses, they're talking about like 30. That's like the opening number, 30 years. Why is 30 years such an important number when you're talking about investing money?
I think a lot of times the 30 just gets thrown out there.
It does.
If you're looking at a length of a career, it's a decent time to look at, just with some stability. But also with the stock market, you really can't start noticing patterns until you have a couple of years. So if you're only looking at the quarter, that could just be luck.
Right.
A quarter doesn't mean anything.
So a quarter is like 3 months.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got to give them kind of definitions of words when we say them to make sure that they follow along. So a quarter is 3 months. So three times 4 is 12. That makes a year. So it's 4 months, 4 quarters in each year. 4 quarters in each year.
And that's in the U.S. In other countries, sometimes they'll go off of years in different markets. So if you're just investing in the U.S., then they go off quarters. But if you're doing global investing, they have different ways.
They do. It varies with each country. I'm thinking Paris does quarterly, maybe 5. I think they do it 5 times.
I think so too. I think that's common in Europe.
Yeah, I think it is too. Because I noticed that years I was over there, it seemed like it was 5, and I was doing the math. I'm like, that's kind of off. I thought it was, but I had to understand I'm in another country, in another market, and most countries aren't capitalistic societies like America. Like America is built from money. It's built on the process of making money. So that's how it goes. That's what makes it a fourth quarter country. But I don't understand. I think it's just the culture. I think it's just another country that chooses another way. But Yeah, quarters are important in investing because they mark the beginning and the end of a certain process, or a certain time schedule, right? Time limit.
The quarters can be meaningful, but a lot of times if you're talking to someone who's done investing for a while, they would probably tell you to wait and not change at every quarter what you're investing in. Just because, sometimes Walmart even has a bad quarter. They've been around forever. But if you sell off that quarter, it might have just looked bad because they were investing in something. They might have been building.
Right.
So, it's one of those things you have to really look at long-term patterns.
So it's better to look at it in a long-term sense of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless it's penny stocks again.
Right.
Then, you probably drop it.
Right. Thanks. And see how Lilly is helping us understand financial literacy. She's breaking it down at such a young age. How old are you, Lilly?
21.
Man, that's what I was finna say. She's selling us this at a young age.
21, bro. She just said.
I think people should look at this, man.
Yeah, y'all need to take this.
You do this young. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what makes this powerful for the community when you that age and you got that much knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to start feeding our kids that type of stuff. By the time they 21, they know stuff about stocks. You know what I'm saying? They know that stuff they don't teach in school.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying?
They
get out
don't.
and think outside the box and teach that extra curriculum to your kids yourself. You know what I'm saying? That comes with parenting.
Right.
You know?
I mean, a lot of us don't know it, so it's hard to teach something we don't know.
That's true.
We a lot of us didn't learn it. Look how we learn it now at the age we live, Right. It's a blessing that we get this knowledge now and we can give it back to our community. Because like I say, it's so many young guys out here with money right now and they just blow it. They don't know if they rims and cars and stuff that can get totaled out the next day instead of investing your money in something that can last. Because we all on everybody, we don't touch big money before, but we didn't know this. If we knew what we knew now, man, we would have put it up.
Yeah. Put it up. Let us know by now we would have had it in some type of mutual funds or CDs.
Yeah.
We would be able to retire, man.
Life insurance is a way to save money. I mean, life
But
insurance
that's why we gotta feed our kids though, man. That's why we say this so important in our neighborhood, man, because this things we got to know as a culture, as a unit, and all that, as a tribe. We need to know all this, man, because financial wealth, man, we lacking that in our community as a black man, black woman. You know what I'm saying? That's something we need to pay attention to for real, like how to do this money, man, how to make this money. You know what I'm saying? Other than physical work like that.
And I want to speak on also, we was talking earlier about, your credit and things like that. A lot of people, especially when you're young and you get out the house with mom and dad, you go buy these cars in the first apartment and then you break the lease, you let the car go. That's gonna mess up your credit. Yeah. So before you make decisions like that, you really need to think about what you're doing and think about long term. Make sure you financially ready for this apartment, financially ready for this car. Because if you break that lease, don't pay your car doing some of that stuff going on your record and that can mess you up, man. I did stuff like that young, but thank God now I'm working on it to get that better. So just watch the decisions you make. Just because you see something right now, it might not be the best time for you to get that. Just because you see that car, that might not be the best time for you to grab it right now. And then you grab it, and you get repoed, and then your credit messed up. You get kicked out of an apartment because you're too young, you got a lot of people over there, and then y'all get kicked out and boom, it's your credit messed up. Don't pay your bills, your credit messed up. But this stuff, when you're young, you don't think about it, but when you get older, it affects you. You see people ride around nice cars, and you wonder why you can't go to a lot and get it. Man, you mess your credit up. Credit is everything. I seen somebody go to a car lot, and this was a couple weeks ago, he didn't pay nothing for a 2001 Honda Accord because his credit was A1. He was able to go trade a car in that he had for a year and go get another just because his credit. And talk everything he said to them, talking to them, I want you to put it in my sales. They did it because his credit was so good. So credit is better than money.
Like she said that. She said at the beginning, credit is way better than money. I'm like you, Caleb. I'm like you. I made some mistakes. Mistakes in my life. I didn't pay some bills. I let them slide. Hospital bills. Student loans and stuff came back on me, but thank God for he changed his things, and my situation changed, and now I'm in the process of getting my credit professionally repaired and fixed for a certain little fee I pay a month. I'm straight. I just feel like in a couple of months I'll be able to get a car, start looking at a house to move. By the end of this year, I'm trying to look at a house to move in. because I rebuilt my credit. So
Right.
all we telling you is don't get like us and wait too late in life. Start off early to making the right decision. Pay your credit card bills, pay your phone bills on time, pay your car note on time, pay your rent on time, and it builds up your credit. So when you get a little bit older, you'll be able to go to that lot and walk away whatever you want. You'll be able to go and be a first-time home owner at 25. You know what I mean? You got to be able to
get a $300 loan.
You got to be able to, we got to teach them to think in advance. What you say, we need to be playing chess, not checkers at all times. Right. That's the game that we need to be focused on teaching our children. It's chess.
Right. Something I did about a year ago, you know, I went to, when I first got my apartment, my sharing this, I went to this nice furniture store, you know, around income tax, we all be having that money.
Yeah.
You know, I had a choice to pay, like I could have bought my furniture, but when if I finance it, you know, they're going on my credit, so I financed it, and you know, some people are like, you crazy, you could have just paid it, but it was a good move because I could even see my credit being moved, and I only got 7 more payments. It was 12 payments. No, it was more than that, but I can't remember the exact payment. I paid up, I only got about 6 more, and it's just like, man, so that looks good when you pay stuff off on time. Then I had them taking it out my check, so I was never late. So when somebody see that, call out seat and all that stuff, man, stuff look good. So think about stuff like that, man.
That's being amazing.
Yeah, for real. And then, even though they was taking that little 128 out of my check, but I know it was gonna be good.
Right.
I know in the long run it's gonna be good though.
So Lilly, do you have any pointers to young people that might not understand money well and how they can start developing skills to budget their money and properly take care of their business where they don't pay debts behind?
You know, speaking from the perspective of a 21-year-old,
right.
I think one of the things that I would tell my younger brother who's 15, when you start getting your first paycheck, you get in the habit of only spending, you know, maybe 20% of it tops, then you're gonna have that money to either like invest or pay off emergency expenses and stuff, and then you're not gonna have higher bills, and then you're gonna get used to paying your bills on time. You're not gonna get to the point where you're so used to paying last minute that you think it's okay.
You gotta be consistent with it.
Yeah, you're building good habits.
Right, you gotta have to start, yeah.
What do you think about building good habits with money, Turk?
Man, I think that's great, building good habits with money. You got to know that, like, with money. I was ready. Y'all know me, I buy anything. I get up in dealers. I get up in dealers, I ain't checking no tag, none of that. I'm just going to find it. But now as I got older, I actually started looking at what I buy, because you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to cut off some habits. Like, if you smoke cigarettes, sometimes you got to cut that off. Or if you know what I'm saying? Your hobby, sometimes you got to cut that off. You know, eat noodles for 6 months and save your money and get ahead instead of just living check for check for check for check for check, bro. A lot of people with jobs do that, man. They just check for check, check for check. They will not try to save that $100 that they got that they can put up to the side. You know what I'm saying? They might blow it on anything. And I was like that, man. And I started having money when I started saving. You know what I'm saying? When I start saving and I get ready to go out, I can pay my boys' way. I can, you know what I'm saying? I can go buy me a new fit. You know what I mean? And I look good when I go out. So that's important, man. I mean, in our culture, because we like to look good. We like nice things. We come from a rich era, a rich background. You know what I mean? So it's just something we like as a people. You know what I mean? So saving, I think, and taking care of your money, man, that's very important. That's how you have money. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have nothing if you don't try to save or if you don't try to budget it. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're doing. Are you living check for check? You know what I'm saying? You gotta balance. You know what I mean? Budget is important. You know what I mean? So that's what I try to do. And I started knowing that I can get nice things. I can get the newest car when I'm saving, and my credit started running. I can go out and get me an apartment. You know what I'm saying? But when I was messing up my money and stuff, I couldn't do them things. I couldn't do none of it, dog. I was hurting. You know what I'm saying? I was broke all the time. Like, nah, man, I gotta start saving. So sometimes you gotta go with that. You know what I'm saying? Go with that.
Right. It's 2 things that I think you're talking about, Turk. 2 things you're talking about. Sacrifice and discipline.
Yeah.
You're just talking about. And that's what it takes to become financially literate. You have to sacrifice. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Unless you're one of those rappers or a sports guy who's making millions and millions and millions at every check, but they still have to
Still
budget.
gotta budget,
Matter
They
of fact,
still, but
they have
they
to
help
budget.
you, bro.
But you know about them, they have to budget even more because they have other people to take care of.
Yeah, they
Everybody
bills
don't just go
high.
to them.
They cost of living more high.
Exactly, that cost of living and their family's cost of living goes up when they get rich. You know it's true because mama need a new car now. When y'all couldn't afford it at first, now you playing sports, she gets that new car.
Right.
And brother asking for a haircut. You got that contract, you get bro that haircut.
Yeah.
You're not gonna say too much of no to your family because you worked this hard to get to this status. And now everybody's gonna live off of it, but they have to understand that you also have to budget. You also have to make sure that sometimes I gotta say no to y'all on that haircut this time. Cause I'm trying to do something big. I'm trying to buy a building so we can do this type of business move. You know,
Right.
so it's all about sacrifice and discipline. And it's all about the people around to understand that you're trying to do that. Because a lot of times when we get on and we get money in our pocket, people come out of the woodworks and they play on your emotions that you're not helping who you're supposed to help. And they get that they put that guilt trip on you. And you feel like, oh man, I got it. But you know that you're sacrificing. So sometimes it's good to say no when you are when you have a lot of money around you. It's still good to say no. You have to say no. You have to budget and you have to let people know that I'm not going to be here all the time to take care of you. So if I help you, you need to do something with what I'm helping you with. Because you're not going to be able to keep coming back to me every time.
I still remember where I read that article where that rich dude had like his company always came over. They used to use his phone and make collect calls on his phone. So he got mad. And then they used to eat all his food and drink all his water. So he got mad and put vending machines and pay phones in his house.
Yeah.
So you gotta sometimes you gotta say, man.
Right.
You know, sometimes you gotta say, bro.
I remember reading this a long time ago, and it was saying in this book, it was saying how sometimes you literally got to live poor to be rich. And they go back to what y'all was saying, you know, you gotta really sacrifice some stuff. You gotta give up some stuff that you love to get where you want to go. Everything you were saying, the cigarettes, the clubs, the expensive clothes. Like if people really put themselves like on a 12-month trial, like for real, and start investing their money, start saving their money. Like you said, I'm not finna go out to eat at Red Lobster. I'm not finna go. I'm finna buy them pick fives. I'm finna do that and really just change. You can come up. You really do, but you gotta stay down. And it take a strong mind. It takes self-control. It takes separating yourself. It takes people gonna say you acting fun. It's gonna take all that sometimes to get where you need to get. Real talk. So you have to realize how important your life is as a person and where you want to go in life. You can't look at everybody else, because if you look at everybody else, then that'll make you go out there and make that fast money how we used to make. Like I gotta get it, he got it, I gotta get it. You'll go make a stupid move and you can just stay down till you come up. A lot of people say that, especially in our community, stay down till you come, stay down. But do they really know what that means, man? You really gotta stay down until you come up. You can't go and you can't go where everybody else can go. You can't go out of town every weekend. You can't buy every pair of Jordans that come out. If you're trying to be something like that stuff, that's material stuff. But man, when you got kids out here and you got a mindset, man, you got to change some stuff up. It's easily said and done, but it can be done, man. It can be done. You have to wait till you 33, 43, 50. You can do it now. You can start now. If you get these more in your head now, watch what we saying and do as we say now, man, you can be something.
It feel good to get some of them wants.
Right.
So Lilly, what do you have?
Sometimes. Now all the things, they got everything they need. And then when you got everything you need, you be satisfied out of life. I know I do. When I got everything I need and able to just give a little bit of what I want, you know what I'm saying? A little bit, man. Like it make my mind healthy. I ain't too quick to go out here and pick no gun up and go rob nobody. I ain't quick to get out here and go pick no gun up and just shoot somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or go with my homeboys and do no dumb stuff because I got a little paper in my pocket. I got something to lose. I ain't trying to spend mine on stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's good to manage that money, man. Keep you some money in your pocket and keep you from doing so much foolish thing. When you broke, I promise you're gonna do every evil thing it is to do whatever, because you ain't got nothing to lose. You don't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
You broke, you know, I look back at my life and how I used to, you know, because I was broke. Yeah, I ain't say breaking in folks' houses, taking their stuff. I look at how that's out of there. That's out of there to work, break somebody's house and take their hard work and stuff out because you too broke and don't want to get up and go get a job. So you would take from this man, but people don't look at it like that because they so blind, they don't see it like that. They out here robbing and stealing from their own people because they don't want to work hard and go get it themselves. That's stupid, selfish, just wrong. Ain't no love in it, ain't no loyalty in there, but yet they don't look at it like that though. But that's real. My eyes open. I used to do it. When I was doing it, I didn't see it, but now I look at it like, man, that's out of there. Dude put on me the other day. One of my homies, he had a flat screen TV, all this stuff. I'm like, man, where you get that? Man, I kicked the door in. I was like, oh, I don't want nothing. And I did. I was just shocked, like, you still do that? You my age. For real. He my age. I was like, you still doing that, bro? He was like, yeah, I got to eat. And I was just like, man, that's out of there, bro. I was like, nah, I want that TV. You know, they can run them TVs down. I'm trying to tell them, bro, they like you. But yeah, people still buying it, man. You ain't got to do that, man. You ain't got to do that.
Steal it though, but you bought it.
Hey, you ain't want no
Yeah, you bought it though.
Yeah, wake up.
put a pause to that.
Just man, I'm trying to stick with you for the rest of your life. I'm just now in 2023 October. I might be this October finna get out, man. Been on paper since I was 12. I was for breaking folks' houses, robbing, stealing, because I didn't want to get out here and be a man and work and do what I'm doing now. Now I feel so good, so free. I ain't gotta go to no courtrooms. I ain't gotta go see no people. I ain't gotta do none of that, man. It feel good to be free from all that stuff, man, and be doing what we doing. We ain't gotta worry about that no more.
We on that righteous path.
Right.
And that righteous path helps you sleep better at night.
Yeah, my own flat screens. I hope don't nobody come get them. I paid for it.
What you come up in your career?
I know the feeling though, to get your stuff took. It didn't happen to me, it came back on. And that's a hurtful feeling. So I can imagine how people feel, man, when you take their stuff and somebody don't work hard for it. That's a feeling, man. We get mad, we lose it. Somebody take our little shoes. So man, somebody just taking all your furniture and stuff, man. So yeah, man, get out here and get it yourself. It's possible.
Lily,
Maturity.
I got to ask Lily something. Lily, what do you think about these kind of instances where people are committing criminal activities in the communities? Not just our community, your community too, because it happens there too. And they're not taking the proper steps to money management. What is your outlook on that?
You know, I think short-term actions get short-term results. You know, even you're just looking at yourself, you really just can't care about the other people in your community. It's not even helping you in the long run.
Right, sure.
Yeah, you know, and that little bit of gain you're gonna get, you're gonna be anxious about it. You're gonna be looking back upon your shoulder.
Yeah, nervous.
Yeah. I mean, like for something you're not getting that much of good results on, you're not even sleeping well. You know?
Lily, right. Like she basically telling us that we need to think before we act. Everything, how could you're not even getting a big gain from it? So why would we do it? You know, you're risking all for this little bit of gain. Where your freedom concerned, you could get killed breaking into somebody's house.
Sure,
you could get flatlined breaking into somebody's house, taking their property because it's the law that I can protect my property from you coming up in here, and I can let that thing ring on you for coming up in my house. Yeah.
Firsthand. Breaking somebody else.
Yeah, it's a mug because we got to stand your ground down here, so it's
everybody can get it coming up in there with this stand your ground for real. That's a fact. Well, I'm just letting you guys know we appreciate y'all tuning in to EME. We're dropping those gems of financial literacy on you. We got the guest and future president of a company, Lily.
Yeah.
You might run my company, man, while I'm taking a nap or something. I think she's pregnant. So Lily, what's your future plan? What do you want to do after you finish college?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, this next year I'll probably take a gap year and really just check out a lot of my options, do some cool work, you know, maybe hang out with you guys.
Yeah, we love Lily around these parts.
And then I'm looking at either going to law school or getting a doctorate. So a lot more school.
Law school, yeah. I think you could do some arguments and
yeah, we need lawyers down here.
We need some lawyers on our team
that understand us.
Hey, we always shopping for a good lawyer.
We need help. We need some.
Hey, Turk McDermott, boss of our bosses, King Caleb. We finna exit stage right, man. So we're gonna let Caleb finish with a prayer, and we thank y'all for tuning in for EME this week. We always got the hot with the dopest host and the best guests. Woo!
Can we get a moment of silence for a word of prayer? Creator God, we come to you first and foremost. I want to thank you for another beautiful day you have let us see, another day that you brought us here safely to pass wisdom and knowledge and give to our people. We thank you for this opportunity. We thank you that we are better than we was yesterday. We thank you for all the doors that are about to open for us, God. As you continue to bless Sister Lilly and all that she does, everything that she has put before you, God. I pray that you give her a heart desire, as well as everyone in this room, God, and everyone watching this podcast. I pray that something was said tonight that can help our people to better their finances, to become better people, so they can become better fathers and mothers, uncles and friends, God. We just thank you for this opportunity and the way that you have made us to be. We give you honor, glory, and praise. Amen.
Hallelujah. Amen. Hey, I'm rocking my homies trap stuff. Man, we always rep the neighborhood. We rep black communities, man. We rep all life, man. Y'all remember EME and y'all prayer. We the best, we the greatest, dopest podcast on the planet, Jack.
Thank you, Lilly.
We out.